Welcome to the classroom. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
According to Blofield and Murray, stakeholders should be plotted in a graph, such as this one, to help the business understand the stakeholders' interest in the business and the business's responsibility towards said stakeholders. The true question now then is, who are these stakeholders? Well, some possible stakeholders could include the staff, your clients, your shareholders, the regulators who make laws that you have to abide by, government, the media, communities at large, suppliers, and the trade unions which operate within your business. The difficulty for a business is to weigh up the demands from the individual stakeholders and then to prioritize the order in which these demands should be met. It is not possible to meet all stakeholders' demands because all businesses have limited resources available. A corporate social responsibility program should form part of the business's strategic plan, and buy-in is critical, from top management to all employees. Buy-in at all levels will only take place if all internal stakeholders are aware of the value of CSR. Only when CSR becomes part of the core and identity of the business and brand will resources be directed towards the successful implementation of the CSR program. Now, how would you design said CSR program? Well, there is a quick recipe to design a successful CSR program. It goes a little bit like this. 1. Management must communicate the need for CSR across the business. Then, management should create a CSR policy for the business. Management will then need to communicate the CSR policy throughout the businesses and ensure buy-in takes place at all levels. Then management should link CSR to business success factors. So, in a way, make it part of performance appraisal processes. Employees throughout the business should brainstorm to come up with CSR initiatives. An inventory of skills and resources needed to implement the program must then be drawn up. Implement the CSR projects. Monitor the CSR initiatives, and then make the necessary changes or go back to brainstorming bigger and better ideas. Blofield and Murray also suggest 6 principles that a business should think about while implementing a CSR strategy. 1. The concept of citizenship. The business has to understand its position within the community and its responsibilities towards the different stakeholders. Its strategic intent is important in understanding how CSR forms part of the core values of the business. In order to do this, the business has to define what the purpose of the CSR initiative is going to be. Leadership has to ensure that the vision of the business as a corporate citizen becomes part of everyday life in the business. CSR initiatives could be either offensive or defensive, or a combination of both. So what do I mean by this? Offensive CSR will proactively tackle social and environmental issues, whilst defensive CSR is about looking after the reputation of the business and ensuring that all activities fall within the law. Management structure has to ensure that all resources are aligned to the ultimate CSR goals of the business. This means all CSR activities must be planned, organized, driven, and controlled to ensure that the CSR goals are met. Stakeholder relationships. The business has to maintain sound relationships with both internal and external stakeholders. This is done by ensuring communication channels are open so that the correct information will reach the correct stakeholders on time. And then transparency. All relevant information about the CSR initiatives has to be communicated to stakeholders. even if it is negative. The challenge for the business then is to have a contingency plan in place to overcome these negative events or failures. The business must disclose information regarding all of its performance. It is clear that a business exists to make a profit. I mean, the rewards for the factors of production emphasize this. Capital gives you interest, entrepreneurship gives you profits, land gives you rent, and labor gives you salaries or wages. However, the true question is, should business make a meaningful contribution to society? The answer is a definitive yes. You see, there's an interdependence which exists where business needs society and society needs business for both to function correctly. Think about it. The business needs people from the community to work for it, and the people in the community need the salaries and the wages which the business will pay. Not only that, but the products which are manufactured are bought by the community. So there is a definite interdependent relationship here. To CSR or not to CSR? CSR is an interesting concept, and there are many opposing views when it comes to it. Some would argue that it is not the responsibility of business to try solve social ills. Others, especially those in the public relations sphere, could and would argue that a business that cares is a business that makes a profit. The schools of thought on this topic are the free market view, which will argue that businesses should be left to making its profits and not be worried about its stakeholders. And there is the corporate social responsibility view, which says that the business must do what is best for its stakeholders. The case against CSR. Some arguments against CSR could include: who or what is the business to decide which social ills should be addressed? Is that not the responsibility of society or the government? There will be additional costs when it comes to this, and these costs will obviously be passed on to the customers. KFC feed a hungry child? Anyone? To give away money, the business first needs to make money for the shareholders. Do you agree with any of these views? The case for CSR. The business must act in a socially responsible or ethical way. If they do this right, then they may find that they will face far less regulatory setbacks. The business must respond positively to emerging societal priorities and expectations. On the 28th of January 2022, students marched to the JSE headquarters in a bid to demand that the listed companies donate something to the tune of 1 billion towards basic education in the country. The facts are, student debt in the country sits at 16.4 billion. Registration fees are ridiculously expensive, and they keep going up every single year. There is a major skills shortage in South Africa. Are the students right in doing this? When you are faced with answering a question related to CSR, the best thing to do is to find one or two arguments for it or against it, and then elaborate fully on these arguments. CSR may be demonstrated in many different ways, and some of them may include sustainable supply chains, in so doing ensuring that everybody in the supply chain does what is best for the environment and the community. Marketing your products and services responsibly. Having safe working conditions and making sure that you pay your employees fairly. The Employment Equity Act and the BCEA talk extensively about this. Protect the environment on which your business will so heavily rely on. Invest in skills development or education. If you do not believe this one, then please take a look at the Skills Development Act. A textbook which I once used during my varsity years, written by Kotler and Lee, summarizes some great ways to pursue good corporate social responsibility. Have you seen any of these examples being pursued in the real world? Here are a few questions which you may find being asked in relation to CSR in a test or exam. Consider answering them, and also consider this, that CSR is closely linked to business ethics. Have a look at the following CSR campaigns being pursued by some of the retail giants in South Africa. Not only that, I've also included one which I personally like, by Nestle.
Communities are at the heart of everything we do at the Shoprite Group. They carry that which we hold dear as a business, our very loyal customer base, as well as our employees who help us deliver our simple promise of low prices to hundreds of thousands of people every day. As Africa's largest food retailer, we believe that we have a responsibility to act for change whenever we can, especially where there's an identified need. We have a proud tradition of reaching out and taking hands with the communities we serve in order to uplift, support, and empower them. Our connection is enhanced through our extensive store network, which enables us to reach further and give back to the people who support our business daily. We are proud to partner with local organizations who help us to find innovative solutions to the various challenges faced by communities today. We also take hands with our customers to help us do even more in their communities. Through the Shoprite Group's Act for Change Fund, customers who are able to give can donate from as little as R5 at any Shoprite or Checkers till point across South Africa. With our combined effort, we work to bring about a renewed sense of hope and opportunity. All funds raised are used to respond to urgent needs in communities, such as natural disasters and food scarcity in conjunction with verified partner organizations. The Shoprite Group is committed to community development and will continue to act for change wherever it operates.
Running is a mother of all sport. Not only a passion, it's a part of life. Long distance running is very, very exciting. It's just all about the endurance and the perseverance that one has on the road. We care about our community, we care about our kids, but most importantly, we want our kids to be active. Athletics is one of the platforms to ensure that such objectives are actually realized. We must unleash the talent, but not only unleash, and we need to support that talent. Initiatives like the Pick and Pay Junior Road Running Series, they support mainly road running. That is where we introduce our kids. It's a mass participation, but eventually we're looking for the potential athletes in the road running. Lebo is from one of our clubs. We met through our events, and obviously we engaged around the issues of development, and then he raised few points about support that he needs to actually push the level of development that he is busy with. He is not only an inspiration to the kids, but he is an inspiration to me as well, to say even with the little that I have, I can do it, and obviously with the support we can move forward. By giving them such incentives like as a vouchers, the lunch packs during the Pick and Pay series, it's some form of motivational to say, we see potential in you. You guys can be at the top of the athletics. The potential is there, it just needs to be supported.
je suis producteur depuis 1987. J'ai aimé le métier de planteur parce que c'est en fonction de ça que nous gagnons notre pain. Quand j'étais enfant, j'ai aidé mon papa. Quand j'étais enfant, lorsqu'il coupait les fèves là, au moins je prends comme ça, je mets ici, on coupe ici, je mets ici, je faisais ça. Maintenant là, avant on était dans un milieu où il n'y a pas, l'école là se trouvait jusqu'à 20 km. Nos parents là ne connaissaient pas ce que c'est que l'école. Donc maintenant là, l'école est à 4 km. Donc tous nos enfants là, maintenant on les amène à l'école pour être éduqués. Il y a notre RC qui est là. Il prend le nom des enfants qui n'ont pas de jugement. Il les amène à la sous-préfecture. Ils font le jugement des enfants. Puis on les amène à l'école. Nos espoirs actuellement pour les enfants, nous voulons qu'ils partent à l'école et qu'ils réussissent à l'école. Pour qu'un jour, ils puissent gagner leur pain. Je veux que mes enfants réussissent à l'école pour qu'un jour ils deviennent quelqu'un. Mais s'il y a au moins un qui travaille dans le champ aussi, c'est un peu bon.
Thank you for joining us in this lesson. If you learned something, give the video a like, share, and subscribe for more great content.